Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. Today's lesson is going to be Cover Me from Born in the USA. Thanks very much to Declan Landy for the request. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for notifications. Also be sure to follow to the end of the video just in case I go through any parts that aren't in the walkthrough. So what I want to do now is go through the whole song and you'll see tab appear on the screen, and then I'll come back and go through all the individual parts. So see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what I'm going to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, so the song is in the key of B minor, and I'm going to go through the first solo first. So this is the main kind of intro riff, okay? So it comes in on the and of 3. You've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. And it uses the B minor pentatonic, by the way. So the first shape of the B minor pentatonic and the second shape of the B minor pentatonic. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 10th fret, E string, little finger, and then you do a bend on the 9th fret of the G string. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, then 7th fret E string, and then you've got a full tone bend on the 10th fret. So you've got this 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and then on beat 2 of the next bar you've got 7, 10 on the E string, and then 2 bends on the 12th fret E string, and then you've got on the next bar 12, 10 on the E string, and then you've got a bend, release and pull off. It's quite a cool technique that. So that's a bend, release, and then pull off just with one pick. 12th fret B string, and then kind of the final-ish bar, you've got 10 on the E string, 12, 10 on the B string, and then a bend and release. So bend and release is where you go up and down. And then you've got a bend, release, and pull off on the 9th fret G string. Pull off to the 7th fret G, and then finish with the 9th fret D string. Okay, this is my own take on it. It's fairly close to the original, so I'll do that all again. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and those two bends there on the 12th fret. 12, 10 on the E string. Bend, release, pull off. 12 to 10 on the E string, 12th fret B, and then 10th fret E. 12, 10 on the B string, and then a bend and release on 9th fret G, and then bend, release, pull off from 9 to 7 on the G, and then finish off. Again, be quite aggressive with it, even if it's a little bit messy. That's kind of Bruce's style, I think, which sounds pretty cool. Okay, so then you've got the main kind of chord progression. Okay, so over that intro, what you've got, and actually majority of the song is this kind of main riff. I think a lot of it's actually done on the piano. I think he's doing something like this. I think Bruce, when Bruce plays it live, he's going to kind of do something like that. So he's going to play it in this kind of register where he's doing a B minor here, then a D major or a D5 power chord, and then an A major, something like that. I think I watched the Hyde Park version of it, 2013, I think. I think you can just see Bruce's hands. He's playing it down here. So B minor, D5 or D major, and then A. And then for the kind of the E minor chords, instead of playing up here, which I'm going to be showing you in a second, I think he's playing it down here. So E minor here, and then E sus4 as well. E sus4 is 2, 2, 2. By the way, if you want to play around with that chord as well, so 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, and then play all 6 strings. So I'll just show you those chords again. So that's B minor. Okay, so it's 2, 4, 4, 2, 2 there. Okay, and then D major or D5. So D major, 0, 2, 3, 2. From the D string, or D5 power chord, a bit thicker sounding chords, 0, 2, 3, and block off the kind of E string with your third finger, and then the A major bar chord, kind of standard one. So 0, 2, 2, 2, or play the open E string as well. Bruce does a lot of this kind of cheating, not cheating so much, but simplifying it so you can play it a little bit easier. So something like that, and then E minor. So I've suggested we're going to do some bar chords up here. Again, with Bruce's stuff live, there's sometimes 3 or 4 guitarists on the stage all doing slightly different things, which is why I always like to kind of do a holistic kind of way of learning it, where you can learn down here, or another Stevie or Niels or Susie might be playing it up here, so it's just good to know all the different options. Okay, so the main kind of 1 bar riff. Okay, so this is B minor, D and A in 1 bar. So what you've got, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so this is what we've got, is B minor. So fretwise 7, 9, 9, 7, 7, 7. That's the B minor. And then D major, bar version, 5, 7, 7, 7, 5. I'm using my first and third fingers there. And then A major, so that's 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5. Standard bar chord shapes. And this is my suggested strumming pattern, which I think really works really well. Kind of ties in with a piano riff as well. So you've got this, 1 and a 2 and. So strumming wise, I'm going like this, 1 and a 2. So 1 and a 2. Okay, so down, up, down, and then a mute. 1 and a 2 and. Just add some kind of percussive feel to it. So it's 1 and a 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay, so I'm just going D, A. You don't have to put those kind of little dead notes in there. So that's basically where I'm releasing my left hand, and then just strumming the strings. So there's a kind of like a percussive dead sound there. So you got 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. You could even simplify it and go like this: 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2, 3, 4. So play around with that. It's a really cool riff. So what I'm also going to do is put the song structure up on the screen now. And again, like I say with other song structures, I like to keep it as simple as possible and get all the main themes in there, but then, you know, get as close at the same time, get as fairly close to the original as I can. Okay, so you can see the intro there in brackets. That basically means there's more than one chord in one bar. So over the intro, which intro solo I just did, you just basically got that one bar phrase 4 times. Again, feel free to put some of those kind of dead note mutes. I think it sounds quite nice like that. Cool, and then you've got the main verse section, which happens 4 times. Okay, so you've basically got 4 bars of this: 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so again, in a live band situation, these next 2 bars of E minor, you can either play it down here, something like that, or I've suggested kind of doing it up here. So you're playing fret-wise 998. This is kind of part of an E minor bar chord. So 998 on the D, the G, and the B strings, and do this rhythm: 1 and a 2 and. Okay, so again, the challenge with this chord is actually blocking out the A and the E strings, these 2 strings. E and the A, and also the E string this time. So 1 and a 2 and. So the picking hand, 1 and a 2 and. Down, up, down, down. And then it kind of got this sus4 shape, almost like an E sus4 shape. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. In the song structure, I've just kept it as 2 bars of E minor because you might just want to play it, yeah, nice and simple, and let the keys and piano do all the other stuff. So, but I always like to arrange it so you can kind of play it all on your own without any other instruments. Again, like I always say with the Springsteen stuff, there's so many layers. Okay, so it's the combination of all the instruments coming together that gives you that kind of awesome sound. So, okay, so that first verse, the first 2 lines of that. So you've got those 4 bars of 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. 4 rounds of that, and then you got the 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Do 2 bars of that: 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, and then back to the B minor, D, and A for 2 rounds. So okay, so I'm going to play this verse section. Again, this happens first verse, second verse, third verse, and then the 4th verse. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, cool. And then I've got suggested for the chorus section, just do a simple G5 power chord. So fret wise, we've got 3. Block out the A string with your middle finger. Open D, open G. 3 on the B string, and then 3rd fret on the E string. A lot of these chords are, you know, in a lot of his songs, so I'll definitely check out some of the other videos that use these kind of... Springsteen likes to use a lot of kind of open power chords, like thick sounding chords. So, or you could just use a normal G major, but I just think it sounds quite nice. So, G5 power chord. So, downstrokes, okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then A major, Bruce normally bars his A majors like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so this is the chorus section. So 1st chorus, 2nd chorus, 3rd chorus, 4th chorus, and 5th chorus are all exactly the same song structure. So, okay, so what you've got, 1st chorus, again, sorry, the first 5 choruses are all exactly the same. So you've got the G5, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so nice and simple structure-wise. Cool, so then you've got the bridge section. again doing something similar strumming wise, but just slightly different chords and a few other little bits as well. So I suggest you doing this with the E minor. So 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so just E minor bar shape, fret wise, just root note is on the 7th fret A string, 7, 9, 9, 8, 7. So 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Again, I got that another dead note. It just sounds quite cool. So 1 and a 2. Release your left hand, so mute the strings. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Same thing, but now with the B minor that you use in the main kind of riff. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Cool. And this next bar that I've got in brackets on the. This is the first bridge, by the way. 4th bar. Also exactly the same in the second bridge, so first and second bridges are the same. So you've got 1 and a. So here I've got a downstroke and then 2 dead note mute. So 1 and a 2, 3, 4. It's a cool little rhythm this. So you've got 1 and a 2, 3, 4. So you go down to an A major bar chord, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5 in terms of frets. So this is the 4th bar of the bridge section again. So 1 and a 2, 3, 4. Then you go back to the E minor. 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3. Then 2 bars of F sharp major. Downstrokes. You can even do a power chord there. Sounds a bit thicker if you wanted to. Cool, so I'm just going to play that bridge section, which is 8 bars long. So you've got 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 1, oops, B minor at the end there, and then 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 2 bars of F sharp major. Cool, and now we get to the guitar solo, which took me quite a while to work out. Again with Bruce, it's kind of like really aggressive guitar playing. Sometimes it's quite hard to work it out. So I think I've got the main gist of what he's doing. Again, feel free to embellish it or even hit me up in the comments to see if I've got a few things wrong there. I think it's fairly close, but yeah. So what we've got first, classic kind of octave shapes. Okay, so an octave is basically the same note but a different pitch. So here, for example, you start on a B, which is a 4th fret G, and also play the note an octave higher, which is on the 7th fret of the E. Again, the thing with octaves is it's what you're blocking out. That's the key. You don't want all the other strings ringing. Okay, so often with these octaves, I use my first finger to touch the D string there, and then my first finger to also block out the B string. It means you can really attack the strings and also just get a really nice sounding octave there. So rhythm wise, we've got semiquavers, which are a quarter of a beat long, and then what we've got is basically 16 of those in a bar. So the way you count and strum it is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So down up, 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 down up. And you do that for 2 bars. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Now you move up, so it's 7 and then 10. So again, still octave shapes. And here you're going to do 1 beat on this, using semiquavers. Then go down a fret, so you're on the 6th and the 9th frets, and do a beat as well. And then you go down to the 4th and the 7th fret to do a whole beat. Then you go 2 and 5, whole beat. So 1 beat on each. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 full beats on the 4th and 7th fret. And I suggested going hammer on 7 to 9 on the G string, 7 to 10 on the B string. Then this bit's quite crazy. A bend release, 10th fret B, and then pull off to the 7th fret of the B string. So 1 and that's how I'm counting that. 1 and or 1 and or 1 and something like that. And then the same thing for the 9th and the 7th fret on the G string. And then a bend in beat 3 on the 9th fret. And then you've got 2 hammers on, 7, 9, D, 7, 9, G. So that bar is quite challenging. So you got this again. So you got 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4 E and a. Again, so play around with the bend and release and the timing of it as well. And then you've got these bends, okay, so kind of 1.5 beats each. The third one overlaps into the next bar. So bend. Now he actually kind of does sort of pinch harmonics here. Kind of squeaky sounds where you're kind of playing it with your thumb and your pick at the same time. I forgot to actually do those in the walkthrough, but if you're struggling with pinched harmonics, I suggest putting on the kind of the bridge pickup. You can kind of get lots of distortion. Bruce does that a lot in solos. It sounds quite cool. But yeah, you should do those on the kind of the 2nd and the 3rd bends. So you've got the like this, like that, and then after that we've got something like that where he's bending up. The 3rd fret G string, and then also playing the 10th fret B string, but keeping it still. So, or even a pre-bend, something like that. It's a really cool riff, that is, but quite hard to control because you've got to keep that little finger still. You don't want to be bending this string like this. Yeah, you keep that still, and then bend up, get a bit of vibrato at the end. Cool, I'm going to play to what we've done so far on this solo. So, octaves first, 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a, 4 E and a, and then you got 1 and a 2 and a bend, 4 E and a 1, 2 and 3, 4. Cool, have fun with that. Again, it's all pretty much B minor pentatonic, and then this run is kind of B minor scale. Okay, and then the next bar, I've suggested coming in on beat 2, and then this. So you've got the bend and the 9th fret G, which ties into the first quarter of beat 3, and then you've got this 7th fret E, 10 pull off on the B string, and then 9 pull off to the 7th fret G string, and then you've got this cool little riff, which is, so timing wise, you've got this hammer on 7 to 9 and the D, 7 to 9 G, and then 10th fret B with a bit of vibrato. So 1 E and a 2, 3, 4, and again 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. You've got this cool little. You can play around with the time with that. Doesn't have to be semi-quavers. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4. So that's just basically you're hitting the 11th fret and you're hammering and pulling off on the 12th fret. If you've ever seen Mission Impossible film, it's kind of the start of that. It's kind of almost like a trill, okay? Cool, so that's the solo. It's a really cool solo actually, and it's really good for practicing, you know, if you're new to hammer-ons, pull-offs, bends and things like that, octaves, there's lots of really cool techniques to learn. So I'll play the whole of the solo, so second bar, and then 10, 9, 7, 5, 7, and then we're into the main kind of first shape pentatonic riff. Can be quite aggressive with your picking there, and then you got that, and then you got the little ascending run. Cool, so that's the second main solo. And what I'm also going to be doing, there's a few other bits in the song that I haven't put in it. I'm probably planning to set up a Patreon account at some point soon, so I'll probably put those on there. But there was a lot of stuff on this song, so I've just kept it for this video. Main intro riff, the main solo, which is the bulk of the stuff anyway. If you wanted to play around with some of the other riffs, they're pretty much just pentatonic riffs. Again, so practice your pentatonic scales. Cool. So after you've done the guitar solo, you've got the second bridge. You've got the fourth verse, fourth chorus, fifth chorus, sixth chorus is just slightly longer, and then you've got the outro, which is basically that main riff over and over again. So that's pretty much the bulk of the parts. It took me a while to tap this one out, but it's a pretty awesome song. It's a really, especially those little solo riffs, they sound awesome. So hope you enjoyed the video, and give it a thumbs up if you've liked the video, and feel free to ask any questions or anything in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.